Live from Manhattan, Times Square, New York City, New York.
The upcoming fight between Ryan Garcia and Rolando "Rolly" Romero is one of the most anticipated matchups in boxing, and the build-up has lived up to the hype. From the moment the fight was announced, it was clear that both boxers would bring excitement not just in the ring, but with the mental game leading up to it. Garcia, once regarded as the next big star in boxing, has found himself at a crossroads in his career.
2 months, Rolly's gonna give you everything you want. So kind of just gonna let the fight come to me, and then I'm gonna take over. I'm a better fighter all around. So I feel like it's gonna.
After a controversial loss to Devin Haney, he's looking to prove himself once again. He's focused on leaving distractions behind and fully dedicating himself to boxing. In a surprising move, Garcia even apologized to Romero, showing that he's coming into this fight with a fresh mindset and a more serious approach. At the press conference, Garcia made it clear that he's not here for trash talk or theatrics.
He's a tremendous fighter. The only people he cannot be.
This fight is all about earning back respect. In the past, Garcia was known for his social media antics and fiery interviews, but now he insists that version of him is gone. His promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, has also commented on Garcia's transformation, stating that he's training under a stricter coach and surrounding himself with the right people.
Myself, Gervonta Davis, and depression.
De La Hoya believes this change will help Garcia stay disciplined and focused on what truly matters in his career. One thing Garcia is not shy about is his left hook, the punch that has defined his career. He's been showcasing the power and precision of his left hook in training, even demonstrating it to former British super middleweight contender Rocky Fielding.
What's your prediction? What's going to happen next second?
Garcia's left hook is a weapon that can land from any angle and at any range, and it's been his go-to punch since childhood. In his fight with Haney, it was the left hook that helped him gain the upper hand in the later rounds, even though Haney had done everything in his power to neutralize it. Now, Garcia's left hook is the centerpiece of his strategy against Romero. If Romero can't figure out how to avoid it, this fight could end quickly. Romero, known for his aggressive, pressure-heavy style, is the type of fighter who could walk right into Garcia's left hook.
That's it. That's it. That's what you can see. Period.
If his defense and chin aren't improved, the fight could be over in a matter of rounds. Garcia has studied Romero's past performances and believes that he still makes the same mistakes in sparring, mistakes that Garcia is confident he can capitalize on. Ryan's father and trainer, Henry Garcia, has also said that fans will see an improved and sharper version of Ryan in this fight.
Damn it. And Ryan Garcia, look, he's coming off, it's going to be about a year now. He's hungry. He's hungry to get on top.
While the left hook is still the focal point, Henry hinted that Ryan might surprise everyone and finish the fight with a right hand instead. But at the end of the day, it's the left hook that will remain the most dangerous weapon in Garcia's arsenal, and if Romero can't handle it, it's going to be a short night. This fight is crucial for Ryan, not just for his career, but for his reputation. After the controversy of his last fight with Haney, he needs a dominant win to regain the respect of the fans and boxing community. A highlight reel knockout would solidify his place among boxing's elite and send a message that Ryan Garcia is still a force to be reckoned with. However, not everyone believes Garcia is the bigger puncher in this fight. Gervonta "Tank" Davis, who has fought both Garcia and Romero, recently stated that Romero actually hits harder than Garcia. Tank described Rolly's punches as feeling like bricks in his gloves and warned fans not to sleep on his power. While Davis did knock out Romero in the 6th round back in 2022, exposing Romero's weak chin, Tank knows that power alone isn't enough if a fighter can't take punches in return. Whether Garcia will be able to exploit Romero's chin the same way remains to be seen. Despite the build-up, Romero remains calm and focused.
To beat Ryan Garcia.
He's not concerned about Garcia's game plan or the fact that there's already a rematch between Garcia and Haney planned for October. Romero doesn't feel disrespected or overlooked because he believes he's going to stop Garcia on May 2. If Garcia does still go ahead with a Haney rematch afterward, Romero thinks it will prove the whole setup is more about business than actual competition.
Yeah, so
Are you talking about in sparring?
yeah.
How many years ago was that?
But his attitude might be downplaying his true desire for that opportunity. If Romero beats Garcia and is offered a big payday to face Haney next, it's hard to imagine him turning it down. Romero knows his worth in this situation. If he wins, he believes he deserves a shot at something bigger than just another undercard spot. However,
And you think that's relevant to this fight? You think you learned something back then you can take forward to this fight?
Nah, I wasn't really trying to learn that day.
boxing politics can be frustrating, and if Garcia is already penciled in for a rematch with Haney, Romero beating Garcia might not even change anything for him. He could still be left on the sidelines while Garcia and Haney continue their plans. Fans don't like the idea of winners being overlooked for business deals, but that's the current state of the sport. This situation is a reflection of the modern landscape of boxing. The focus is more on entertainment than on following traditional rankings and results. If a fighter like Ryan Garcia is already set up for a rematch with Haney, a loss to Romero might not change the course of events. That's frustrating for fans who feel that the winners should be rewarded accordingly. But in today's boxing, the business side of the sport often outweighs the merit of the competition itself.
How do you see this fight playing out? Do you think it runs distance rolling in your side?
I don't see it right now because the way
Romero, despite being the reigning WHBSA super lightweight champion, is not widely regarded as a long-term star in the division. A victory over Garcia would be a major upset, but many believe it still wouldn't be enough to propel him into the biggest fights. Even if he secures the win, the demand for a Garcia versus Haney rematch might overshadow his achievement, leaving him as an afterthought in their rivalry. This wouldn't be the first time boxing's power dynamics have worked against an underdog who defied the odds. If the business side of the sport continues to favor Garcia over Romero,
look what happens to his opponent. You know, he does drop. He does drop. So when he's focused like this, he's very dangerous.
there's a real possibility that Romero's victory would be downplayed, reinforcing the idea that Garcia is still the division's most bankable star. Everything hinges on the outcome of this fight. If Garcia dominates Romero, it would all but confirm a rematch with Devin Haney as the next big event.
There's many possibilities. There's the possibility of him having a better chin, which I'm not sure if he's going to have a better chin.
However, if Romero pulls off the upset, it could expose the sport's favoritism once again, where financial interests often override merit. Regardless of who wins, this fight represents more than just a competition.
Possibility of being the fastest and strongest at 147. But him moving up to 147, the only thing I think that he's really going to get is him having a better chin, because at 140,
It's a battle for power, control, and influence over the division's biggest moments. Former world champion and boxing analyst Sergio Mora has weighed in on the fight, predicting that it won't last long. Both Garcia and Romero possess significant punching power, but their respective defensive vulnerabilities suggest that this bout will likely end before reaching the later rounds.
his last fight, he didn't get hurt. He's a little bit, if I'm being honest, going to be a little bit more fresher than Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia.
Mora does not see a clear favorite in this matchup because both fighters have shown weaknesses in past fights. Garcia hasn't faced a legitimate power puncher since his fight against Oscar Duarte in December 2023, leaving questions about how he will handle Romero's aggression. Meanwhile,
It's gonna be a good fight. No? You think? Huh?
Yeah, for sure. Somebody.
Who hit a little harder though? Was it Ryan or was it Rolly? If they both.
Romero has struggled against fighters who can absorb his punches and fire back with precision. Their respective styles guarantee a dramatic, action-packed contest where a single mistake could determine the winner. The fight is expected to start at a high pace, with both men looking to land early power shots.
They people be sleeping on Rolly because he been but yeah, if he don't got no chin down, so Rolly.
Given Romero's reckless approach and Garcia's tendency to leave openings when attacking, the potential for a highlight reel knockout is high. Even before this fight was made official, Romero had already predicted that Garcia would win. This suggests that he has always expected to face Garcia and has mentally prepared for what Garcia will bring to the ring.
Rolly, he can hit. He's the only person when he swung, it felt like bricks and like really.
Mora believes that this fight is crucial for Garcia to prove that he remains an elite-level boxer, especially after the controversy surrounding his last fight with Haney. Garcia's previous bout ended in controversy due to a positive test result, which damaged his reputation.
Ultimately, what do you feel puts you over the line against Ryan in this fight?
Since then, he has been trying to repair his image, and the best way to do that is by delivering a dominant performance against Romero. Mora believes that Garcia's best weapon in this fight is his left hook, a punch that has already proven devastating against high-level opponents. Romero's aggressive.
Doing really well.
Is it something similar that because Ryan knew Devin so well, he knew how to fight him? Is that like the mirror with this fight, that you know Ryan so well that you know?
Sometimes reckless approach leaves him open to counters, which plays directly into Garcia's strengths. If Garcia can land cleanly, the fight could be over quickly. However, Romero is not an easy opponent.
There's no fear with Devin. Devin don't have no power. And then also, you want to come in all that extra weight, overweight, so that makes a big difference,
While he has been criticized for his defensive flaws and occasional lack of discipline, his power makes him a threat in every exchange. If Garcia makes a mistake, Romero has the ability to capitalize and hurt him badly. That is why Mora believes that this fight will end early.
Aside from that, Devin was winning damn near every round and he didn't get dropped. Even the rounds he got dropped, he was winning the rounds, he just got dropped.
Both fighters possess knockout power, and neither has the kind of elite defensive skills needed to completely avoid getting hit. In fights like this, it only takes one mistake to completely change the outcome. Garcia has been vocal about his confidence heading into the fight.
Boxing ball. They just want the Haney rematch, so it can be settled once and for all. What is your message?
Predicting that he will knock Romero out by the 4th round. Mora initially believed the fight could go as far as 5 rounds, but after analyzing both fighters' tendencies, he now believes it won't go beyond 6 rounds. There is simply too much offensive firepower in this matchup for it to last much longer. Aside from Garcia versus.
You guys are going through the lawsuit right now, but if you and Devin can run it back again, under what terms would it be?
Run it back the same way, just a little higher weight class.
Mora believes that most fights on the May 2 card will end in knockouts. However, he expects the bout between Teofimo Lopez and Arnold Barboza Jr. to go the distance, calling it the most competitive matchup of the night. For Garcia, this fight is not just about winning, it's about making a statement.
Is that the biggest rematch of 2025? Haney Garcia? Biggest fight?
I believe that Devin Haney is a shot fighter.
He needs to remind fans why he was once considered one of the most electrifying young fighters in the sport. His recent training camp has drawn attention, with some believing he might be over-prepared for Romero, raising concerns that the fight could turn into a one-sided affair.
You don't think Devin Haney can beat Ryan Garcia?
Oh yeah.
Don't fight that type of style.
Yeah.
Don't do your Devin Haney, and get out of there.
And that's what you do with rematches. You find everything you did wrong. You know it instantly after the fight's over.
Garcia needs to prove that his power is legitimate, that his speed remains elite, and that he deserves to be at the top of the division. On the other side, Romero sees this fight as his moment to disrupt the sport's narrative. He knows he is being overlooked, but he thrives in the role of the underdog. Throughout his career, he has managed to secure major fights despite setbacks, and this is another opportunity for him to prove his critics wrong. Promoter Oscar De La Hoya has added his voice to the discussion.
You right those wrongs. I do believe that it's a rematch that he will win. I think we've talked about this time and time again. I think it's a rematch that both guys really need to have.
Predicting that this fight won't last long. He is convinced that Garcia will knock Romero out, viewing this matchup as nothing more than a tune-up fight before bigger challenges ahead. De La Hoya sees Romero as a stepping stone for Garcia, allowing him to shake off any ring rust before a potential rematch with Haney. However, De La Hoya is skeptical that a Haney rematch will happen at all.
Live in Manhattan, Times Square, New York City, New York.
You know, don't try too much. You know, Rolly's gonna give you everything you want. So kind of just gonna let the fight come to me, and then I'm gonna take over. You know, I'm a better fighter all around. So I feel like it's gonna.
In his eyes, Haney's so-called glass jaw will withstand Jose Ramirez in the co-main event of the May 2 card. De La Hoya has long questioned Haney's durability and believes that after Garcia's dominant performance against him last year, Haney has not fully recovered either physically or mentally.
He's a tremendous fighter. The only people he cannot be myself, Gervonta Davis, and depression. So,
According to De La Hoya, Haney and his father, Bill Haney, have been unusually quiet since the loss to Garcia, which he sees as a sign that Haney is struggling behind the scenes. If Ramirez performs as expected and defeats Haney, then the much-hyped Garcia-Haney rematch may never materialize. Despite giving Romero credit for his punching power, De La Hoya does not consider him a legitimate threat to Garcia. He acknowledges Romero's talent for hyping up fights and getting himself into big matchups, but he views him more as a showman than a true contender.
What's your prediction? What's going to happen next second?
Left hook. That's it. That's what you're gonna see. Period.
Even though Romero has suffered knockout losses in the past, he always finds a way to remain relevant. This fight, in De La Hoya's view, is no different. Romero talked his way into a major payday, but when it comes down to skill, he won't be able to compete with Garcia. Ultimately, De La Hoya expects Garcia to win by knockout. He believes that when Garcia lands clean, the fight will be over and Romero won't have an answer. The bigger question is what happens next in the division. If Garcia wins convincingly, he will solidify his place as one of boxing's biggest stars. If Romero pulls off the upset, the entire lightweight division could be thrown into chaos. Meanwhile, Haney's fate remains uncertain as Ramirez looms as a potential spoiler. With so many moving pieces, the May 2 fight card is about more than just individual victories. It is about shaping the future of the division and determining who will control boxing's biggest narratives moving forward. That's it for today, fight fans. Will Garcia deliver the knockout, or will Romero shock the world? And can Haney survive Ramirez? Let me know your predictions in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an update. See you on Fight Night.